I have the living statues with us here today. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
All right. Why don't we start off? Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band?
Sure. My name's Tommy. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Chris. I'm the drummer.
And Alex on bass.
We do have one more who's not here. Zach is our other guitar player.
All right. Awesome. So you guys, reason we're talking here today is you have a show at the Cooperage on September 23rd, Thursday night at 7 p.m. And this is a reunion show for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be our first time playing together, all four of us, since October of 2017. So it's been quite a while. We're really looking forward to it.
So yeah, and you guys have been quiet for a while. You moved after you guys stopped playing together. Everybody moved out, moved kind of upended yourselves and moved around.
Yeah. Some of that,
To say the least.
A bunch of us ended up on the West Coast.
Okay.
Alex ended up on the East Coast, and just life got in the way. We were having a good time, had a lot of momentum, but prioritized other things. But it's always been in the back of our heads to get back together and play again one day.
Okay. And you were mentioning that you all happened to be in Wisconsin this week. So you guys have stayed in touch with one another, obviously, over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, and realized everybody was going to happen to be here, and decided to get back together.
Yeah. So Zach and I live out in LA, and we've always kept in touch. And I mean, Tommy's on the West Coast, or was on the West Coast, and I just hit him up one day and I said, "Hey, I'm planning on being in Wisconsin from this time to this time." And he basically said, "That's funny because I am too." So we started talking about it, and just kind of jokingly, wouldn't it be cool if we got back together again and really had a final reunion show? Because we never really closed the chapter on the note that we wanted to close it.
Okay.
And it turns out that Alex had moved back to Wisconsin, and we just kind of worked it out, and everyone was at the right place and right time. And Jason from the Cooperage, who's a good friend of ours, had reached out as well, and we just set something up and said, let's close it with a bang. Let's do the rock and roll thing, and let's make some noise.
Okay. So this is, I don't want to say this is your life. This is kind of a cathartic. It would be maybe a little bit of a cathartic kind of closing of a chapter, a little bit, it sounds like, or.
Yeah, I mean, we all had plans to move away. When we stopped playing in 2017, and it's hard to schedule a big shebang when we're all planning cross country moves, and so it never really happened. So it's been in the back of our minds, like we got to do something big to close it out. No, we'd never say never, but this, we're not planning on releasing any more music or doing any more. This is really just right place at the right time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, your show at the Cooperage is Thursday night, the 23rd. Tickets are $10. I think I saw. Check. Starts at 7, and you guys are playing with the Keystones and Fun Boys as well. This Thursday night over at the Cooperage. So what's it been like getting back together in a room with everybody and playing songs that you haven't maybe touched in 3 or 4 years?
Speak to that one.
Well, the fact that it was like 15 minutes ago, so it was pretty good. It clicked. We didn't screw up too bad, and we're in a. I don't know. We always sounded good in a basement. We always sounded good on stage, so it clicked once we came back. We've all been practicing on our own terms, but once you play together, it meshes. It's weird. That's why you play in a band, right? Either it clicks or it doesn't. So, and it does. So,
oh, okay. So yeah. Okay. So I was going to say, were you having to go back and listen to your recordings to pick up where it is, or do you have a lot of muscle memory left where you kind of get into it and that just kind of comes to you?
I think we all did a bit of like independent work,
Okay.
Speaking for myself, I had to, relearn like, oh geez, what order did I have my pedals in? How did this all work? But yeah, like Alex said, it's every band, tries hard to find that sort of chemistry. And I don't think that you lose that, I hate to say it's like riding a bike, but I mean, this was our first time, the three of us playing together, in almost 5 years. And it felt like no time had passed at all.
Right. And, you guys have, I guess, maybe a little bit of the luxury where, when you stopped playing, it was based off of personal choices to move away and kind of make the band, just untenable from a logistics standpoint. You didn't break up because, you didn't like one,
Right.
didn't like one another. So you're coming back and there's no, it's more emotional than there's no tension there
Right.
necessarily.
Right. No, you nailed it on the head. Yeah. I mean, that's
why there's only 3 of us here today.
No. He's flying in, but no, it's, we the same amount of dislike for each other as always.
Right.
So no, it's I think it was, there was no real, it's not like, some of us went on with the others or, we lost one guy. It really was just this explosion of all of us leaving, and now it's all of us coming back together. Yeah, real close to where it all began. So
when you were when you guys realized all of this and were setting this up, did you have to worry about bringing instruments and bringing instruments halfway across the country and then setting up a practice space, or how did all the logistics of that work?
I didn't have to bring anything.
I'm fortunate enough to have gear in 2 places.
Oh, okay.
So, but I do have like a favorite snare that I take with me on trips.
Okay.
So that, but I was fortunate enough to have a lot of stuff here already, and just getting it retuned up, blow the dust off, make sure you still got the magic inside you.
Right.
Yeah, we had some good practice of traveling. When we were playing together a lot, in 2015, 2016, a lot of these things were an airplane ride away. So I kind of got over that anxiety of dropping my guitar off at a TSA checkpoint. So it wasn't too bad. They of course always got to wand out my pedals. I feel like that's something that's I'm always going to get caught at, but it wasn't too bad.
But for the most part, we're minimalist kind of band, so we don't have like a glockenspiel or anything to worry about. So it's good.
Yeah, so we're talking to the Living Statues, who are going to be playing this Thursday night, the 23rd, over at the Cooperage, 7 p.m. show with the Keystones and Fun Boys. I should just mention also that you need a full proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours to get into the Cooperage to see the show. But it should be a great show. You guys did a lot of touring and played a lot of shows when you were active as a band. I know, I saw that. Keeping track of you, when you were releasing releasing your singles and putting out your music back in 2016, 2017, you guys were pretty active. Do you have any I don't want to say surprises, or new songs that you've worked on, or is it just going to, are you kind of just going back through, the set that you guys, kind of came to live with?
I think that, there's some of that mentality of like, shut up and play the hits.
Okay.
But we're going to do we've got a new cover in the mix, and
okay.
We're dusting off some old stuff that, people who were there for the early days might remember. But, I think even kind of our power set, we had, when we were playing so much, we had a tight 30, a tight 45, a tight hour, and dusting off that feels fresh and new to us. So I hope it feels the same for everybody else. But you got to keep it fun, keep it a little unexpected. I feel like in the past we were more willing to take a few more risks if we were getting bored of the set list. But to some extent, this whole thing is kind of a risk, getting back into the swing of things. But for sure, a new cover, and any of the singles, and love, you'll hear them. So
Okay. Was there any different perspective on any of the songs now getting to go back to them, 3 or 4 years later?
The songs are a lot faster than we recorded them. I don't know if we're just old guys now. Playing the old recordings, like, holy, we're playing this fast.
Yeah, we must have cranked out some heavy BPMs in the studio with a lot of the records that we were putting out. And you were talking about muscle memory earlier. I mean, some of it is muscle memory, but I think when you're just younger, when you're 23 to 25, you have all this fire in you, and naturally you just play songs faster. So
Okay.
it took a little bit to get back in the swing. But I think we're good. I mean, the chemistry never left. The magic is still there. When we get together, we still hit it off. We still have a fire. So I think people will really enjoy coming out on Thursday.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you hate to say this about your own music, but it had been years since I had listened to some of these recordings, and like there's enough distance now between the people who wrote it and the people who you're talking to now that you can gain a little bit new perspective. And some of the moments and some of these songs, I was like, dang, I don't know if I would have thought to do that, but that's pretty good. So it has allowed us to approach some of this with fresh eyes and fresh ears.
We're just old and jaded now.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time. Living Statues are going to be reuniting this Thursday night over at the Cooperage for 7 p.m. show with the Keystones and Fun Boys. It's $10 at the door. I have that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, $10 at the door, $10 online. Fun Boys, unfortunately, aren't able to join us, but we got Gold Steps as the opener.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Gold Steps.
Gold Steps. Okay, so
Yeah.
Keystones and Gold Steps will be opening. Again, Living Statues is exciting to have you guys back in town and performing. I know all of your songs just are ridiculously catchy, and great rock songs. So looking forward to getting to listen to them one more time. They'll be Living Statues will be at the Cooperage this Thursday night, 23rd, 7 p.m. with Keystones and Gold
Steps.
Gold Steps. Bring your proof of negative COVID test or vaccination to get in the door. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. We're going to hear a couple more tunes.
Good to be home.
Thank you, Craig.
Appreciate it.